Velina mai nema kohoi pai Āina. This is Truth and Justice. We are live right here at your community television studio, Akaku Community Television Studio. We are here, Channel 53, 7 p.m. Monday nights. Tonight, we're going to discuss how we're going to handle an issue here. It affects our cultural economy. It affects your way of life, my way of life, our national way of life, and also the future generation. We need to start thinking about how we're implementing very conscious changes. This is 2013, people. Hau'oli makahiki ho. It's wonderful to be here. I haven't been here for maybe a month because the last time we're talking, I was telling you I'm going to go to Arizona, to Phoenix, Arizona, and I had attended a conference. It's called the Star Knowledge Conference that's been put on in the same area in Arizona, which is a very spiritual and highly significant place, and there are temples there that are very significant to the native people of Arizona and also to all of our family there in the family of the First Nations, or within the original nations. I was honored to be there and speak on the Kahilinai Akau, the North Pole Trust and Heritage Site, which is comprised of patented, surveyed, and registered properties that are 12 in number that contain or hold this form of a container of territory, sovereign territory, which is the underwater continent up to the glacial heritage site and up to the airspace that is structured by international law. So I was able to speak to roughly 700 or 800 people and let them know that this container, which is a trust for the implementation of a new consciousness of peace, a consciousness of sharing and true equality and sincerity and integrity in our relation with our Āina. Āina Aloha, Aiole Aloha Āina is not only a thought or a foreign concept, it is a way of life. And the indigenous, or that word is going to change soon, First Nations or original peoples' wisdoms is key. This conference focused on First Nations or indigenous wisdoms that had to do with the stars, mapping and charting and wayfinding, and also expansion of consciousness. And how are we bringing that forward? By going back to the root of humanity, back to the root of our origins, where you and I came from through our ancestry. And it was a great honor, wonderful pleasure I had to address our brothers and sisters in the family of nations and let them know that the trust was in Ike in 2005, came forward through successorship to myself and others in a council, and were able to, by treaty, acquire this territory on behalf of all First Nations, all original peoples, and the people that we call indigenous people. It was very exciting to share this with them, and I also got to guest appear. In fact, I'm on Facebook too, Mahea Ventura, and you can contact me that way, and you can get on to Truth and Justice Facebook page, see the very last show that was uploaded. I was so happy and privileged to have my guest hostess, Napua Hueu, on, and she brought her ohana, her family on, her mom and sister, and the whole ohana was watching. Thank you to everyone there that tuned in and started your journey on finding out what is Revolution Aloha. I wanted to go over a few things like I do at the top of the show and let you know that the first bit of news that comes out from the administration is something that I kind of wait for every year to see if there's going to be any change, if there's going to be any implementation of the thought consciousness of 2013, or will the administration simply sit back into its same old resource killing, cultural genocidal type of separation of culture, and are they going to do the same thing again that doesn't benefit us or does not benefit the new consciousness that would practically sustain an island economy and an island capacity? Before we get into that, Momi at Uptown, we love you. Giving you a little shout out here, and lovely to see your beautiful shining smile this morning on my way out to check out the surf there. Please be yourself even more, and also everybody there, you have such great aloha. I want to just say that, and that I mahalo all of you there. Thank you so much. Right on, Momi, and she has a wonderful voice, by the way. The West Maui Harbor is the first project that came out in the Maui's News on January 6, 2013. It was discussed that in this article that there's the harbor expansion, $200 million project that could happen that was proposed. The Weinbergs allegedly own that land. However, there are Kuleana and royal patents there, and you know how we all feel about that. There's still this sugar coating or this continuous displacement of other people's properties that will fuel the same old mentality of overbuilding and destroying resources and actually just fueling a dependent economy that will not sustain you and I. And then we have this news being presented to us, or this proposal being presented to the community. More expansion, more introduction of dependent economy, more pollution to the ocean and to Kahoma Stream. We never get to resolve the issue of the natives' land rights, natives' interests, and natives, by the way, this is all patented, natives' title to the land. So once again, this issue is placed underneath this old regime's way of sustaining itself. Because let's face it, if we're 98% dependent on goods coming in to the archipelago, and back in the day prior to the 1790s, according to J.P. Schmidt's statistics, and if you read the book Before the Horror, it's estimated there, and he's a statistician, it's estimated that there are about 1 million people on this island living in harmony with enough in excess to outfit passing ships, entire ships, with food, fresh water, provisions, supplies. And today we're less than 15% of that number, and we're importing from foreign sources 98% of what we consume. If that is your picture of 2013, then you need to sit in front of this show here this evening and really consider who you are and where you're at. Are you going to participate in the revolving door of a dependent economy, or are you going to participate in free independence, cultural economics based on a naturally based economy that you are getting health benefits out of and you are really feeding your future generations in? So we're going to talk about that. Here's the issue. The administration's first move is to propose to the people, let's continue overbuilding and not planning for the future. Or let's talk to my really special Keanae Hanai and guest host. We have her back again this evening. You're so lucky. This is Napua Hueu, Revolution Aloha.
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 Aloha Maui and Hawaii. And some people in Oregon too are committing to watch tonight online.
All right.
At akaku.org.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you for coming on again.
No, thank you for having me.
You're so awesome.
No, I'm so honored. I'm so honored to be here. And I'm honored that you trusted me last time enough to let me host your show. And
course.
we've had
Yes.
such great response. The Revolution Aloha has had great response since our show aired was that a couple weeks ago?
Yes.
Like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, December 10th. I was in Arizona.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. No, thank you.
We're so thankful. Mahalo, mahalo ya Akaku. We're talking about, and I'm over here saying intros and here's the issue, telling people that you've got an answer, you've got a solution.
Yes. I'd like to think that I have a solution. I hope everybody wants to be a part of the solution. My solution is Revolution Aloha, which is a positive movement, and it's to encourage everyone to aloha Mālama and live up to their Kuleana.
Mm-hmm.
I've been really thinking hard about how we're going to do that and what we need to do that, because our goal is really big. I've narrowed it down to 2 missions that we need to accomplish in order to be a solution to the problem.
Okay.
And mission A is to gather and record indigenous knowledge from our makua and our kupuna
Mai kai.
while we still can, while they're still here. And then our mission B is to take action and apply that knowledge to everyday life and exercise it, and not just sit on the information, but use it and engage in nature and everything that our kupuna are going to tell us.
I love that because that's key. And as you know, I was talking about Arizona, my trip there, and how that was very fundamental to the entire conference was indigenous knowledge. It is indigenous knowledge. How do we take the vision or the consciousness and give it form? And you're doing that.
I think so. I hope so. I would like to invite everybody to visit revolutionaloha.com and keep up with us, because we're still formulating what the plan is and how we're going to do that plan. But I think that that's my basic idea and general vision, is to get our kupuna knowledge and apply it and act on it. Don't just sit on it.
That's awesome. Some of the things that we have going on here, and you can think about what I'm telling you about here, is that we have something like the PLDC, for example. The PLDC is that corporate group that is a committee under the DF, the de facto, to transfer other people's properties over to yet another set of people under the guise that there's clear title to all of this land. And we're not only talking about clear title. As a patent examiner, I'm going to tell you that the patents that we have must have 3 parts to them. Now, if you're a title researcher, you're interested in land, or even a real estate agent, and you may not have the knowledge and you may not be doing this willingly, but when you're selling or transferring property, especially property that is derived from a royal patent, you have to look at transfers, whether there were jurisdictional transfers or the record is correct. There's 3 parts to every property move. There must be all interest clear, there must be all title clear, and there must be all rights clear. So if you don't have the 3 parts set together in one unbroken chain of title, then you don't have it. Somebody is duping you. Somebody's telling you that you've got a good contract here and they're just trying to make money off of you. So pay attention to that, because we're talking about utilizing our resources, and our resources are actually patented resources. They have a higher significance because they're government registered properties. They're not just filed away in some bureau or a department which sits underneath a main administration. These are actually government registered properties. So we have like water rights. We need to access our water. We have Clean Water Act that is applicable or useful, particularly interstate and also in-state. The Clean Water Act has penal sums of $11,000 something a day or per person per the violation of polluting the water. We have to talk about how we're going to address all of these factors in Revolution Aloha. How are we going to get there?
We have a ways to go, and we have a lot of things to do.
Okay.
Okay. I think that in order to get there, we need to, number one, live aloha.
Nice.
We're going to go through the whole step-by-step process, and that's live aloha.
Okay.
That's meet your neighbors, attain information from your neighbors as far as like who they are and what they do, and everybody has critical information that needs to be shared, and I think that through communication, like community communication.
Not like texting each other
But,
in the same
only
house.
by talking to each other will we figure out how to get anywhere. And so that's kind of a major factor
That's good.
in getting somewhere.
So you have an event planned? Like a luau or something where all the neighbors can get together, or?
Not yet, but I will beyond that. I think I'm going to apply all of these concepts to my own community as far as Keanae goes. And hopefully we can get somewhere and figure out the struggles about reconnecting with your community, and hopefully we can be an example for other communities, because, you know, I would really like to be able to accommodate everybody's reconnection, but I'm going to have to start at home and figure it out from there, and then maybe it can be an example for haiku and paia and kula and everything.
And kihe.
And kihe and wailea. Wailea needs some help.
Well, I love that. And Auntie Ipo, if you're watching, Auntie Ips used to put together the ho'olauleas down at the ballpark and everything. And so I'm sure you'll be asking aunties for kokua and also the uncles. Everyone will come out.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we love Keanae, and we love Keanae to stay Keanae. Not that we want to put everyone in a museum and be like, oh, look, you know, how we used to be, and oh, look how they used to fish, and they used to kanu, kalo. But we want to reinvigorate the Ahupua'a and create an independent interdependency. Because you remember, did you see the last show with Dr. Bruce Leonard? Well, we talked, if you remember it out there, we talked about all the mea kanu and all the la'aulapa'au. And we focused on our relationship with the Āina. And that relationship must be aloha. It must be a or aloha. It must be the giving of the breath of life and the greeting of the breath of life. And that is how you act and behave, right? I mean, it's one of your values from Punana Leo all the way through graduation.
Yes.
Yeah. Gosh, I am so with you.
Okay.
So any support that I can give you and the ohana and everybody will definitely be there.
Okay, thank you.
Now tell us how people can become involved. And, you know, I know somebody out there is going to ask, do I have to be Hawaiian?
No. Revolution Aloha is open to all of the residences and descendants of Hawaii. So we'd like to include everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody can participate, and how you do it is?
You go to revolutionaloha.com and you email us at info@revolutionaloha.com, or you find us on Facebook and make a connection with us so that we have you online and in the group and in the groove of things. And I would just like to create a list of people that want to be involved in this movement.
Okay, so we could like get some organizational parties happening.
Yes.
And get people who really
want to organize and collect the people who would like to move this revolution forward and figure out who that is.
I think that's beautiful. So you're going to have people, researchers, or searchers, go out and talk to punapunas and gather indigenous wisdoms.
Yeah.
And recruit? Is that what you said?
Yeah, recruit people to go out and inspire them to go collect their own knowledge from their families and their community. And that's mainly what I need help with. I need everybody to get on board and go and do their own little research and collect data, because we need data and guidance.
Okay. So tuaku puna data is like talk story.
Yes, it's just talk story.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's where we're gonna start.
Yes, and I understand that Auntie Helen is 101 years
Yes.
old.
Yeah.
She's 101 years old. Right on.
She's our kupuna from Wailua Nui
Mm-hmm.
in the Keanae area. And yeah, she's going strong. And so we need to go and talk to her. She is in Kula, and so she's next on my list to go and talk to. You just reminded me that she's 101.
101 years old.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Yes.
And it was up until recently that she was in the taro patch.
Yeah, she only recently moved to Kula.
Yes.
Otherwise, she was working it solid.
Mm-hmm. And did she buy bottled water?
I don't think so.
No, she didn't.
She ate poi and like fish and was just on it like that.
And not like, was she like a heavy spam eater?
I don't think so.
There you go, you know?
Yeah.
You want to live to 101 as well and be as spunky and sparky as Auntie Helen. Drink the fresh water that we have coming. I go up to Iao and get my fresh water from there and bring it home. I don't go to, any of these commercial places anymore. I used to for a time, and then I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to make these changes and I'm going to implement going back to Aloha Āina, really doing it, then you really have to change the way that you think. Yeah?
Yes.
Tell me, what started you on this movement, a revolution?
The number one thing that inspired me or generated the idea was I had heard that one of my younger cousins was involved in gang-related activity, and I was really not too okay with that. And so I figured out that I was gonna be cooler than the other gang that he was a part of, and I was gonna make my own gang. And I was like, what should my gang be about? I thought of Hawaii and how smart we are and that we're cool as a gang. Hawaii was like the coolest gang. And so that led me to start Revolution Aloha, provoked this idea.
Are you talking about, is there gang-related activity over here, Ma'anei?
What, on Maui?
On Maui?
Yes.
Serious?
Small kind. Yeah, we're starting a new gang.
It's hard for me to imagine that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to start a positive gang.
Are the youth more of
my
who
focus?
you're bringing in?
I think I'm going to try and scoop the youth. Like, they're my biggest target audience is the youth, but I would love for everybody to be a part and be inspired and move with this group.
What are the concerns of the youth in your research that you've conducted?
There are a lot of concerns, just mainly a disconnection with nature.
That's huge, a
Yeah.
disconnection with nature.
Yeah.
Because to us culturally, that's a disconnection with ancestors,
Yeah.
with way of life, quality.
Right.
It's Maui County and developers and the way that they choose to, not that they're stuck in, but they choose to promote the building and the construction, destruction in our environment. But the youth are thinking that's a disconnect.
Yeah, I just think that there's a little bit of a disconnection, and we can restore that connection by asking our kupuna, like, what was the connection? What is the connection? And then exercise that connection via engaging in nature. And so I hope to, at some point, be able to host, not campouts, but events where people can come and engage in nature and understand what the advantages of living a sustainable lifestyle. Like if they came and did it for a weekend, just a completely sustainable little experience in Keanae, then they could go home and apply it, slowly apply it to their daily life. Like, oh, I gathered my own pohole, and that's a green that I can eat, and it grows on this island, and maybe I should just eat more pohole instead of like spinach from Canada or wherever spinach gets imported from.
That's right. I like that. I believe that the largest super mega store here that is near the airport imports all of its greens. All of its greens are imported. up to some horrible number like 98%. Just awful. I like this because that's changing mentality. That's makana ka'ike. You know, in doing the work or the action, the thoughts change. And so implementing this in Keanae and having kind of a camp out experience for the youth is something that you and is this an organization, or is this just kind of a loosely associated hui of family?
Yeah, I'm just calling it a movement right now to inspire thinking, inspire some creative thinking. But it's a hui. It's going to turn into a hui.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's very 2013 and beyond.
Yeah.
All right. I love it. Good girl. Yeah, we don't need any incorporation. Yeah. We don't need any LLCs or people to think about, oh, we need a waiver, whatever. It's when you walk in the grass, common sense, you're not going to put heels on, right? And you go out, you go to an outing, or when you take your children to the beach, you're not worried about signing a waiver at Kama'ole 1 for the County of Maui. It's like, it's kind of a given that it's time to use common sense. And I'm sure that there will be safety. I liken it to going to Kaho'olawe. Like when we would go take babies over, and even when I first went over, I was like, a teenager. and I think maybe that wasn't conforming to the rules or anything, but we were all very aware. And I love this Aloha Revolution because it's increasing awareness. And you have some mana'o to share with us about that.
Since I was last on your show, we had a lot of good response on Facebook, and so I just wanted to share a couple fun things that happened. One was I admire him very much. His name is Vincent Mina, and I think that he's obviously like a major factor in this whole learning, like talking to your makua and your kupuna, like he is one of them. He wrote a comment saying that he really applauded our show and we did a good job, and so that was a really good moment for me because he's kind of like idol status a little bit. And so we had good response like that. And also these tourists that were visiting from Oregon watched us in their hotel room, and then they went to Keanae just because they saw our show and that we had said we were from Keanae, and they went to the fruit stand and they looked for me, and I wasn't there, but my cousins gave them my phone number, and they called and they had just wished me luck on my revolution and good vibrations and all that stuff, and so that was really cool. The feedback from my cousins was amazing because I'm the oldest granddaughter, I'm the oldest great-granddaughter, and so I have a lot of little cousins, and many of them have seen me since the last show and said that they saw the show and that it's so cool, and I'm like, okay, this is like good, positive awareness, and it's had an effect already, and so that's exciting.
That's beautiful.
And it's working.
Yes. Yeah. I had to stop in Paia to get some paperwork for access with EMI. And I ran into Vincent Mina. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we talked about this show, and we talked about all the makua support, because it's for us, we're like your Papa Makua, and, you and the bunny and everybody, we want to help you mohala, and that helps us. And we have a repository in your collective divine, Your generation represents to us the container in which to not only hold these wisdoms, but also to create upon it, to create new things with it. And it's just awesome, awesome, awesome. And so aloha to the ohana in Oregon out there watching us, and also everybody else out there. It's lovely to interact with community. Also, I think you're going to be out there more. Yeah, kind of like we're going to be implementing a demonstration of what your Kuleana can look like, what your Ahupua'a can look like as far as permaculture and eco-village type of infrastructure. And above all else, self-sustainability. It's about self-sustainability, and rebuilding and nurturing the relationship of aloha, aloha Āina. I'm so happy that you got those responses.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yes. And even when I came back too and I went to the market up country, people were stopping me and commenting on the last show and how it's so wonderful to see you.
Nice.
And I thought, yeah, you know, maybe people are tired of seeing me all the time.
No, that's not it.
No, but it's good to have a fresh face and a fresh view and go, yeah, you know, I know Napua, or I go to Keanae and I go to the stand, and, you know, the people that know the family. Yeah. And so we have that connection. I think the movement's going to grow
Yes.
bigger. So tell me about the cousin that got caught up in a gang.
I don't really know much of the details. I just had heard that that was maybe something that was going on that was affecting him. And so I just thought of the solution. And the solution is to create a gang that's cooler than the other gang. And so that's how it started.
It's cool. Yeah,
Okay.
I have to admit that, yes. And I so want to be a member.
Okay, you're approved. You're in my gang.
And we want shirts like that.
Cool.
Isn't that a great shirt? Aloha Revolution. I love it. I love it. You have something for us.
Yes, revolutionaloha.com. You can order a shirt from our next batch. We only did a small run, but I had to do a small run to get it started.
That's awesome.
So that we can promote.
Okay, so it's aloharevolution.com.
Revolutionaloha.com.
Revolutionaloha.com.
Yeah, sorry, it's kind of confusing.
So revolutionaloha.com. Go up there, support, do what you can, and we have to help the next generation. We have to search for indigenous wisdoms and cultural knowledge. We can get that to you in what manner?
The data that people collect and the information?
Yes, yes.
Not too sure, but you can always find us online and make a connection with us online.
Okay. You have like a form or something to fill out?
No, I don't. I have an email address.
Okay.
info@revolutionaloha.com or Facebook. There have been some random messages like, how can I be a part of it? And I can't really answer that right now because I haven't established or I haven't planned our camp out or anything yet, but as long as you email us or make a connection with us, I would promise to include you in whatever unfolds with the Revolution Aloha.
Okay, I think we need to plan the camp out first.
Okay.
And
Yes.
then see, we already have participation from the crew.
Yeah.
The camp out first in Keanae,
Yeah.
and we'll have our kuka, our talk story about the form. And it'll happen. I think that people will come and people will want to participate, because what does 2013 look like for you?
For me?
Yes. What does it look like for you?
Okay. I picture a lot of time engaged in subsistence activity, which is gathering my own food. This is what I'm going to do in 2013. I'm going to gather my own food,
Okay.
and I'm going to consume my own food that I know grew someplace near and not far.
Okay. So no kihei corn.
Yeah, no kihei corn. Even though it grew here, I'm not going to eat it.
Okay.
Because
That
it's
is.
GMO.
Are you sure? Is that out?
What? It just seems obvious.
Okay.
Corn is out.
Making sure.
Yeah.
No GMOs.
No GMOs.
Okay.
Food is kind of my main focus this year.
Okay.
Clean, good food. Because I would like to be healthy and happy. That's like what I always say. Healthy and happy.
All right.
Yeah.
How else can you be aloha if
How
you're not
else
healthy and happy?
Oh my gosh. If you're not healthy and happy right now and you want to be healthy and happy, you need to live aloha, keep a positive mindset, because I believe that that's where it all starts, is positive mind frame. Pass on that positivity with others when you engage in everyday situations. Mālama, which means to just give extra care. Not extra, it means to give care, but give extra care if you can to everything around you, people, nature, everything. And Kuleana, always keep in mind Kuleana, which is responsibility, because if you can live up to your responsibility, then you can handle the aloha and Mālama, no problem. That is your responsibility, is to aloha and Mālama. And so that's what I think people can do in order to live and get and be more aloha.
That's good. And so water is included in this too, yeah?
In this whole mix, yes.
Yes, so the vaivai, which is so important. The water this year, I think, is perfectly timed because this is the 150th anniversary of the Hui o Kama'auai, the water board, the Konohiki Water Board that was established in July of 1863 continues to be the organic document which A&B's water system operation is founded upon. So like yourself, your family, I know you have ancestry to this board because the agents of the plantations in 1863 went to the Konohiki for the purpose of leasing water rights. They did not go to anyone else. They went to Konohiki, who are individuals culturally, traditionally in charge of leasing out water rights. So A&B today is still subjected to that 1863 document, which states in Chapter 12 that they only own 5% of the water system, and 95% is still owned by the Air Konohiki today and the families who also lease their land over and through and under where the ditches run. So that's really going to be a key component, I think, in this vision because it's the 150th anniversary year and people on Maui know about this. It was very strong in the 80s, brought up again in the 90s, and it's time to just drop pretensions. It's time to drop any old frame of reference that served ego, okay? Just served ego. And just drop that and come together as a hui, like you said, and be Revolution Aloha. Water, food. I like that you're gonna be eating a lot. This year it's about food. When we went to New York in May to address the issues with the Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues, food sovereignty was a major focus. This is a world concern and it's a local concern. And you have brought our attention to Auntie Mary Ann Pahukoa, an interview of Auntie in 1976, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, and it is on YouTube. So I'd like for you to introduce that to us, and we'll go ahead and play it.
Recently, the Hawaii Voice, I guess they're an organization, Hawaii Voice, published a video of Auntie Mary Ann Pahukoa. It was just a thing, it's a video that Keanae School did in 1976. The teacher coordinated the camera and they documented Auntie Mary Ann, just sharing a little bit of her life story. It's so cool that it's available on YouTube now and we can watch it. And basically she just gives a little explanation about her hometown and how she grew up way back in the day. She was born in 1897, I believe. It's a good breath of fresh air from the past about how simple it is and it should be as far as like collecting your food and eating your food. She talks about surviving off of Opihi and Opai, and it was a really cool video, and so I'm glad that we get to share it tonight.
Nice.
Because it's just, yeah, good stuff.
All right. Auntie Mary Ann Pahukoa.
I was born 1897. 1897 I was born. Yeah. I'm going to make 80 years this year. September this year I make 80. September 6th was my birthday. I was born Keanae here. Then my mother is Kealaula. Then my father is Āina. They raised me Keanae here. That's where I was born. My grandmother went adopt me. Take me Wahine. That's where I was raised. Wahine. They raised me over there till I passed school. From over there I come over here school Keanae. That's how. And 7 of us children from Wahine come over here. We come Honolulu, pick up some from Honolulu, come over here school. Right in from the hall, that's where our school house. So we will go to school. Then sometimes we come walk feet. We walk feet all the way from Wahine, 7 miles from Wahine. Here over here, we walk feet. Morning time, early in the morning, Monday morning, before the sunrise, we leave home. We on our way come to school. We reach over here before 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock school in. That's how we come. Then the other children, when we pass school Friday, we all go home. Friday, pass school, we walk, go home. Well, a few times we come on a horse. No more horse. Most time walk feet. That's how we raised. That's how I was raised by my grandma. Then we stay over there till I went past school. Then I stay over there till I get married. Then I raised my children. I had my firstborn up in the out. That's where I had my firstborn. We give birth home. We don't go in the hospital. Give birth home. My firstborn. My secondborn, I give birth to Wahine. I go back again Wahine where I was. Go back over there. Then I give my secondborn over there. Yeah, about this place, Wahine. That's where I was raised, Wahine. Then get the name before Kaloa as the name of that place. But since this lady will go and hide underneath that stone, so they call the name Wahine. The lady went hide underneath the stone. The husband will like give her licking, I think. And she scared, she ran. Then she went meet this man who was cleaning the ditch. Then he went call that man. Hey man, he don't know the name of the man. Why the man went look at her? You get place for me for hide because my husband chasing me. But I know can climb that hill. If I go and climb Kikalpakea, he going to see me because too long that place. Maybe he coming right behind of me. Mama, that man tell, you go underneath the stone. That stone is right on top of the road, in the middle of the road. You go underneath the stone. She said, how can I go hide underneath the stone? You go underneath the stone. Me, I clean the ditch, the dirt in the water, no can see your feet. Because only your feet, if that man going to come past over there, he look by the side of the stone, he going to see your feet. But if I make dirt in the water, no can see your feet. Because the water is dirty. Okay, the lady went go underneath the stone and hide. Mama, the man went come. The husband went come and see that man and ask that man, hey man, hello, one Wahine went past over here. One lady went past over here. Mama, this man said, no, I never see that lady. Yeah, one lady went come. That's my wife. I find no more. I don't know. I never see that lady. And that lady stay underneath that stone. Mama, that man been go up that hill and he no can find. He come back again. He went home. The time he went home, Then that man went come get that Wahine, who come out. Then the husband went home already. So she come out from underneath the stone. As how we call it the place Wahine pay. Then that man went take the lady, go show his house. So he means stay with that man. He take that man as so husband. That's how the place went call you Wahine pay. Because the lady went go hide underneath that stone. That's the story of the place Wahine pay. For our young days, we go catch Opihi, go catch Opai with our Poekahuhanai, the one who keep us, adopt us, stay down near this place. Because our parents, they were in the pay at 7 miles. The one, we come back Monday, then we stay down here till Friday, then we go. We stay with these people, we go catch Opai, catch Opihi with them, catch hihiwai. Night time we go make the hihiwai. We go lama the hihiwai with the torch. That's how we go lama the hihiwai. That's what the Hawaiian said, lama, you go with the torch. Go shine the torch. Then everybody go catch the hihiwai. That's how we go night time. Catch hihiwai, catch opai. We used to go up in the out catch opai. Pineau get more opai than down here. Okay. You go Pineau as a place. You like make plan opai, you go Pineau catch opai. Go in a ditch, go down a kawai, down, get opai.
I just love that. So if you want to see more of that film,
You can search Mary Ann Pahukoa 1976 on YouTube. It's also on our Revolution Aloha Facebook page if you want to find it easier. That video really inspired me to figure out what we're going to do, which is archive kupuna knowledge, collect it and archive it, and apply it. So that video, just her explaining the meaning of Wahine Pe'e, which is a place about halfway to Keanae from town. And I always knew that the word meant Wahine Pe'e, lady, hiding. But I never knew the whole story until I watched that video, and just so happened she explained the whole story. And so those are the reasons why we have to collect kupuna knowledge. Otherwise, we won't know why that place is called that place.
it's very important. And knowing the names connect us to our ancestry and our Āina lineage, as well as our real human family lineage. We have non-human family lineage and our elementals and our aumakua. It's very important. Napua, if you could please remind us all how to get in touch with you and the phases that you had outlined for us in the beginning of the show.
Okay, so revolutionaloha.com is where you can find us. We are a positive movement that is going to celebrate individuals who aloha Mālama and live up to their Kuleana. And we're going to be a hui of conscious people that are working to collect important indigenous information and knowledge and traditions and how-tos. And we're going to apply it by exercising that in nature and engaging in our island environment. And you can be a part of it by emailing us and Facebook messaging us and just sending us a note that you want to be a part of this hui.
Okay, awesomeness. And mahalo anake for texting in and saying that you're gonna help and give Napua. Napua has your number, by the way. Mahalo. Mahalo nui.
Yeah, super effective.
Yes, yes.
Tonight.
I know, I was reminded that this morning we saw this guy on his board with his phone in a Ziploc bag.
Oh yeah, like on it?
Yeah, like on it. It's like, you can't go out there and be, it's like, there's some places where it's just sacred.
Yeah.
You don't take your cell phone out there. Yeah?
Yeah.
So people with Āina, people with access to Āina, call Napua Hueu, and get involved with donating and giving and sharing Āina and offering the venue where keiki, kamali'i, opio, and also makua can come to and have not only be a part of the demonstration, but also how to grow your own food, how to Mālama Āina, how to do this, because some people don't have that vision. And that's okay. If you came from the city, then you just came from the city. But if it's in your heart to Mālama Āina, then join up and start participating, right? It's time to get active. 2013 and beyond is not about destruction and the same old. We live on an island and we're building without a thought of capacity or future generations. That's out the window already, okay? So Maui County and the state de factos, that entire regime sustenance, it's ano'e, it's ole, in fact. What we need to do is be supportive and bring up the creativity and the aloha of the next generation in aloha and actual growing our food, becoming independent and self-sustainable. And again, if you're interested, it doesn't have to be measured by any level of interest.
Yeah.
Just if you're there. And Uncle Vincent, ka Napua.
Yeah, I appreciate any and every interest in our revolution.
Yes,
So,
it's time to do it. So, we're going out.
Ahui ho.
Aloha hui ho, and thank you. We'll see you probably in February, and definitely stay in contact with Revolution Aloha, Facebook, website, phone calls, Keanae. You guys know everybody in Keanae, so you guys just walk across the street.
Yeah.
Talk
You can
story.
find us in Keanae.
Yes. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
No, seriously.
Yay.
Pulled it off.